today, as announced last night by Kolu, the state of emergency in Rivers State came to an end. And it was a kind of like a hush-hush ceremony of transfer of power because Fubara never handed over to the sole administrator, the legal one. And when Ibas was leaving, he left last night, and today, people, including the supporters of Fubara, they were all at the government house to witness his return. But his return was not as ceremonial as it will be. Initially, they even thought maybe he had sort of like absconded or abdicated, which means maybe he won't even show up until he showed up. All right. I think the headline was set before he showed up. So anyway, we are going to go to River State, take a look at or see what happened around the place from last night to this evening, I think, as well as the return of Wike, because he's back in Nigeria right now. So, and he's back on his on the podium, where his own music band are very much right, or they are very much. So he used the occasion to call out his enemies who were spreading rumors about his, his health challenges and why he traveled to London. So I've got that for you tonight. I've got a lot as usual. So let's just get down to it. So last night, Ibas left the River State government house, being the end of the 6-month illegal state of emergency declared by Thiefnubu. And if you want me to take you through a quick memory lane of how it all got to this, well, it all started after 2023 charade when Fubara became the governor, with a Wike who kind of like wrote all the script, also controlled the State House of Assembly, the local government area. So when Fubara said he won't probably follow whatever agreement they had, it was time to unleash the structure on him. So initially, he pretended to probably add some fight in him until it all ended up as just a simple braggadocio, as Wike received proper federal backing with the judiciary on his side. It didn't take long before they put together an arrangement to get him removed. Fubara, with his own boys, arranged the bombing of the State House of Assembly, that if the assemblymen were unable to sit, they won't be able to carry out any impeachment given to them by Wike. In the midst of all of that, luck just came the way of Fubara. What happened? The powerful group of Wike, they misfired. They decamped to APC. Now he leveraged on that. Okay, so they denied, and their court affidavit that showed that they've joined APC, video evidence and everything, disappeared in the courtroom, and the court said no, they never decamped. However, things got that bad, right? That Wike seems to have been so like boxed out completely when Fubara installed his men as local government administrators in one of what they call the most peaceful local government elections. Now, this aggravated Wike and his group very much more. So they pressed the destructive button. So in the process, they said Thiefnubu, who initially offered a peace deal that was more or less like to confirm that Fubara is just an houseboy to Wike, something the elders of River State felt after that meeting. So he reneged. He backed out of that. Although he said he didn't. They were the ones who backed out, right? So this time around, it was the chance for Thiefnubu to wield the big stick I bet illegally, right? It is illegal. So he wielded a big stick by suspending Fubara. And he said, I did that to save you because your boss, your political godfather, wanted you out, like gone. And he would achieve it if we let him go with that. So what happened is that you go on suspension. We work out the rest of the deal later. Now, everything denied with the Wike has been restored. He is in charge. Okay? So, but I don't think it is over yet because Fubara is expected to join APC before December. Okay? And that is kind of like the rumor. And obviously he is going to. When he was suspended, 11 state PDP governors, is that even the right sentence? Anyway, 11 PDP governors, meaning 11 state governors of PDP, they initiated or instituted a case against his suspension. And Nigeria court, the Supreme Court of Nigeria knew, or any other court that was supposed to hear the case, never assigned the case to any judge until the expiration of the state of emergency. So right now, except the one we are aware of, nobody knows what the future holds for Fubara. And like somebody said, it is not over. It is not over. Okay, we shall see. Now, so we're going to start from last night. Ibas and it's a statewide broadcast to Rivers people, my Rivers people.
My dear citizens of Rivers State, it is with gratitude in my heart and humility in my spirit that I address you today for the final time as administrator of our beloved state. 6 months ago, His Excellency President Bola Ahmed Thiefnubu, GCFR, President Commander-in-Chief of the Armed Forces, entrusted me with the solemn responsibility of steering Rivers State through an extraordinary moment in its history. Today, I can say with conviction that by the grace of God and through our collective effort, the mandate has been accomplished. Law and order have been restored. Local government elections have been conducted, and chairmen elected by the people now serve in office. Statutory boards and commissions have been reconstituted and are performing their duties. The state budget has been passed by the National Assembly, providing a legitimate fiscal framework for governance and development. These are milestones of progress that belong to all of us because they reflect the resilience of a people determined never to let their state slip into paralysis. We must be mindful, however, that statecraft is not a destination. It has no terminus. And even the most advanced nations or societies must constantly renew themselves because governance is a living process. Rivers State will continue to require vigilance, sacrifice, and leadership anchored on one enduring truth, that government exists to protect the people and to promote their welfare and well-being. One of the enduring lessons of this season is that the exercise of power without restraint can cripple institutions, and rivalry without dialogue clearly endangers democracy. Let this chapter therefore stand as a permanent reminder that the health of our polity depends not on who wins or loses, but on how political actors manage their differences and on the strength of the institutions we preserve and the unity we nurture. As I reflect on this assignment, I do so with deep appreciation. I have met outstanding men and women across the state bureaucracy, civil and public servants, diligent in their duties and devoted to our state. I have benefited from the guidance and wise counsel of elders and statesmen who spoke truth at difficult moments. I am grateful to my family, whose support never wavered, and to the young aides who labored day and night beside me to deliver on this mandate. I salute my former colleagues, the men and women in uniform, whose courage and sacrifice remain the bedrock of our peace and security. Their dedication to service is unmatched, and Rivers State owes them a debt of gratitude. Above all, I thank you, the people of Rivers State. Resilient, patient, and hopeful. You stood firm through the storm and believed in the possibility of renewal. This journey was never about one man. It was about restoring dignity to governance and giving you back what is rightfully yours. Now, as I hand back the reins of leadership to His Excellency Governor Siminalayi Fubara, I do so with confidence and respect. I urge all Rivers people to support him wholeheartedly because leadership and followership is a shared responsibility. No matter how competent and no matter how clear a vision may be, it can only come to fruition and thrive with the active support of citizens.
Nuisance leleyi. Nuisance leleyi.
I won't really blame him. But do you know what they did to Rivers people? They carried out a political haste, right? Economic haste, and at the same time, the entrenchment of what you can say an outlandish, sort of like a tyranny. I made that up. Just joined out the words so you understand what I'm trying to get at. Like something that should never happen. And I'm not exonerating all of them because it is the political criminality that brought about these rogues closer to power. And it is what Nigeria does anyway. But you know what they did? When they removed the Fubara, they said it didn't present the, it didn't present the status of assembly. So it didn't present the state budget to the status of assembly. And it was only passed by the 4 members who didn't decamp. So therefore, it's spending money without appropriation. So it got removed. And they removed the local government election, local government elected members that he conducted because they said other parties are not allowed to participate. So, which means their money shouldn't be given to them given to him as well. But immediately, not with any court ruling though, okay? The court didn't say, don't give him the money, give it to a sole administrator. No. The court said that the status of assembly should be presented the budget. And they were in the process of presenting that when the whole thing changed. The assembly didn't show up after the judgment. So what happened? They said National Assembly would have to kind of, so before that, Ibas got all the money they withheld, Thiefnubu withheld, the same day that it was announced that as the sole administrator, the day he walked straight into Rivers State, Ibas walked in with at least over 50 billion naira. Do you get that now? And I'm talking about, this is just like the money that were withheld for like about a month. The state allocation, this allocation, 13% derivation, and local government fund. They released everything to him. I think the local government fund actually took several months. Yeah, it took several months before they, and that was why I think he went to go and conduct local government elections so that he could get the money, but they discarded all of them. So Ibas got all this money, and the people of Rivers State said it was like they put governance on hold in Rivers State. You know what that means, right? They were paying salaries, of course. Pensioners and other workers who were not paid were indeed kind of like the bottom barrel, like, no, don't talk about them. They make so much money, you would say, with the kind of system you run, right? So right now, I heard that the State Assembly are now probing, I don't know how true that is though, but I'll find out. So they are probing the 6-month state of emergency and money. So there could be some alarm very soon too. Wike got all he wanted, no doubt. Fubara has been humbled. So whatever he thought he had or he swallowed at that time to challenge the, the man that made him governor, right? He possibly won't dare to do that again. And reminding everybody as well that this is going to be a precedent now. Yeah, this is going to be a precedent now. So you may wake up tomorrow, because the way they are, if Nigeria continues, or sure you get, so the power shift and somebody, right, we just remove a state governor. This time, it may not even be a state governor from that part. Remove a state, like a Lagos state governor. Or remove your Kano state governor, state of emergency, which is illegal. Because even when you declare a state of emergency in any state, as ruled though by their own Supreme Court, it's already ruled though. This is one that they decided to start another case that the Supreme Court chooses not to even look into it for over 6 months now. Anyway, right? So the same Supreme Court ruled that whenever a state of emergency is declared, they can't remove the governor. You can't remove the Senators of Assembly. And yeah, you may strip them of some certain control and all that, but you can't remove them. You don't have that power as president. But Thiefnubu just did so as a president. Just that when it is done in reverse, you can tell how loud the noise will be. So yeah, today, people in Rivers State, as early as 7 a.m., they were already trooping to the government house to go and witness the return of their governor, right? And they were there for several hours. At the point, nobody, people were expected to start seeing his own videos too, like, okay, is that him? They didn't see any. Even when he was brought in later, right? He didn't make kind of much, entrance. But at the point, people were feeling like Abioti abdicating, like maybe he's not even going to show up for the job, right? So earlier at the government house in Rivers State, this